Hello friends and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today is the day we are going to be planting the house side of the berm with gorgeous Southern Living plant collection, shrubs and perennials. It is going to be a great day, complete transformation. But before we get started, I want to remind you that Saturday, June the 20th, this Saturday, we are having an epic event here at the Garden Center that we would love for you to come. It is absolutely free. We are going to have the Southern Living plant collection, like front yard garden tour. It is going to be a whole event. We have got 3 food trucks coming. We have got coffee, we have got donuts, we have got your main lunch meal planned out for you. You're not going to want to miss these food trucks. We have got so much fun things. So the nursery opens normal at 9 a.m. But the kind of the fun festivities with Southern Living, they start at 10, run roughly from 10 to 2. At 11 o'clock roughly, we are going to have a Q&A with Jerry, myself, and then Erin from the Impatient Gardener. She is going to be here all day. And so what we want you to do is to submit your questions for us, for Erin, for whatever kind of gardening questions you have. Put them in the comments below, and then your question can get answered on Saturday. So it is going to be a fun day. We have got some plant specials. The annuals are buy 5, get 5 free. Why do we do that? Well, they're a tray of 10. So just mix and match to your little heart's content. And so you get 5 annuals free when you buy 5. And then we are going to have a whole selection of Southern Living plant collection shrubs that we typically don't have, including some of these that we're planting today, including Agapanthus. That's right, my friends. So it is going to be a fun-filled day, completely free. The festivities start at 10, so come on by. They're going to have lots of information, free lemonade and cookies for everybody. You're not going to want to miss it. So we'll see you this Saturday on June the 20th. All right, now for the planting of the berm, we have got a load of gorgeous Southern Living plant collection shrubs and perennials that we're going to be adding to this space. We are going for year-round interest, structure, color, and of course, a flower power. So what are we adding? We have got beautiful white wedding hydrangeas that are going to go in. They are just about to erupt in their full blooms. We have got camellias because we are a North Carolina Zone 8A garden, and we have got to have camellias. So we have got October Magic Orchid. We are also going to be adding Night Light Camellias. This is a beautiful bright evergreen shrub that I have been wanting to add to the garden for several years. So today is the day. And then some Agapanthus. We have got beautiful ever white Agapanthus that is going to be added to this space. So stay tuned for a complete transformation of this berm filled with these gorgeous shrubs and perennials from our friends at Southern Living Plant Collection. It is going to be a fantastic day here in the garden. My friends, so we have got all of the plants placed. So we're going to take just a quick little moment and just kind of go through. Let me show you where the plants are and give you a little bit of a glimpse inside of the thought process behind the design. to understand this berm is it is not symmetrical. So up here at the front, it is going to be the widest space, gets the sun last in the morning. As you can see, part of it's still in the shade, but it keeps the sun later in the afternoon. And then as we work our way down, of course, we have got 2 cherry trees on this side. We have got the perennial hibiscus. This is the summerific holy grail, which will have that nice near black foliage and then really beautiful red flowers. And then working down, then it gets narrow as we come down to the end. As far as the sun on this end, it gets the morning sun first, but it's also the first to go in the shade. This is definitely considered a full sun garden, and there is drip irrigation in here. We've got to rework it as far as just kind of move it back around. Right now it's all shoved up in the back. So the main things, of course, that we were working with are the existing plants, including we have got some already some hydrangeas, and then of course the stellar ruby magnolia, which is a beautiful evergreen up here, the 2 cherry trees, and then the holy grails. So that's kind of what we have as our starting point, and then we have to design around that. So we have 5 October Magic Orchid Camellias. These are going to be 4 to 5 tall, 3 to 4 wide. Put them in the back, and basically they're going to be in a line in the back. So we have got those spaced throughout the between the hibiscus and then underneath the cherry trees going down. So starting down here, we have got the first orchid that is going to be back here. And so to fill in that gap, and then all 5 of them, basically when there's a plant, we just skipped and then put them there. So we've got that because I'm thinking about my evergreen interest in the winter. Jerry has a shovel because we have imagine that, we've got an irrigation leak. So while I'm talking, he is going to be fixing that irrigation little mishap down here. So those are where the orchids are. And then the nightlight Camellias, beautiful evergreen, full sun, chartreuse color on, is going to be gorgeous. So we have 3 of them. So it's going to look a little odd right now. You got to think long term. So these night lights are going to be 4 to 5 tall and wide, again, evergreen. So we want them to play off the color of the holy grails. So we put 2 directly between those 3 holy grails, essentially dead in center in front of the orchid camellias. That's where it looks a little weird right now, but you just got to envision long term those camellias, taller, dark, shiny, glossy green foliage, and then the night lights. So there you go. So we've got 2 here, and then because we had that 3rd one, I wanted to be a little fun and have a little different. So I brought the 3rd night light up here kind of by itself in a way, right? But it's right here beside that stellar ruby magnolia, which is to the right, and then in front of the quickfire fab hydrangea. So again, really playing on the color and the texture and thinking the evergreen, because of course in the winter that hydrangea is going to be sticks, but my ruby, stellar ruby magnolia and the night lights will be here in the winter. So there we go on that. And then of course the white wedding hydrangea. This is a panicle hydrangea, is going to be nice and beautiful creamy white. You can see that the flowers are just starting to get on that color with them. They too are going to be 4 to 6 tall, 3 to 5 wide. So really filling in right there and will be gorgeous. So we did a kind of a quote mass planting of 6 of them right here, so that thinking of mature size, they're going to be kissing one another. So we're going to have a huge pocket of hydrangeas right here with the evergreens behind it, and then of course the perennial hibiscus back there. And then we kind of dotted some and just brought them back, not in a straight line. Some are more forward than others. Some are pushed back a little bit to bring a staggered interest to the space. And then coming down here, we have got 4 here. So we've got a group of 2 and then a 2 down there beside the pink Cascade 2 butterfly bush. So we've got those. So those are all of the shrubs. And then we have the Agapanthus. This is ever white, and ever white is going to be that pure white flower. Agapanthus is one of those iconic southern perennials, hardy in zones 8 to 11. That's why I think they'll work really well here on this berm, because it's going to be protected in the winter and it'll be nice and sunny and warm right here in the winter. They are rated as part sun, so we tried to go ahead and put them in areas that are going to have more of that kind of filtered sun, like underneath the cherry tree, and doing a big, huge mass planting. One thing I've learned about this berm is that you've got to plant with big pops of color, whether it's the plant itself gets nice and big, or you put multiples of a smaller plant closer together. Because if we were just to put a Agapanthus here and a Agapanthus there, they get lost. You're not going to see them from a distance. And for the most part, this berm is seen from a distance. For us, it's on our front porch, whether it's the drone shot or what have you. So this is not one of those beds that we're always up close on it. So we want to have big impact with those big pops of color. So that's why we did the groupings of the Agapanthus in mass planting together. So remember, mass planting can be 2, 3, or 20, right? It doesn't matter. It just means more than one that we are doing this. It depends on your space as maybe how many you're going to put into it. So we've got a group down there, and then we've got some more right up here. So then we have this group right here. We have got 6 of them right here. I started looking though, we might have to move the one, thinking about if that hydrangea gets 5 feet wide, that one Agapanthus is going to get kind of smothered up. So I need to move him because he's going to get smothered. And then we have a group of 3 more right here next to the perennial geranium. So that'll bring a fun little pop of white right here in this space. All right, so we have got the whole team here. We've got Emily, she is home for the week. So we've got Emily, we've got Cassie. We're gonna go grab Ariberto. So it's going, the sun is coming out, and so we're going to move with purpose, my friends, and get these babies in the ground. So as always, when we are planting shrubs, we are going to be using the Jenny's Edition 9-inch heavy-duty auger. So the 9-inch is perfect for 3 gallons or more. The Agapanthus is a beautiful, nice, big 1 gallon, and then all of the shrubs are 2 gallons. So we're gonna have a nice, beautiful hole using that 9-inch heavy-duty. We're going to knock those out. Of course, everybody gets your biotone starter fertilizer. That is that great fertilizer for the strong root growth. Because we are planting hydrangeas and shrubs in the full sun essentially here in mid-June in the southeast. So these plants are going to be under, could be under some stress. So we want to make sure that they get some nice, good, strong roots going. And then once everybody's in the ground, then we've got to rework the drip irrigation so that we know that everybody is going to be on irrigation, because that's the beautiful thing about being right here is that we do have irrigation and that they can get that water during this hottest part of the year. So we're just gonna have a planting party with the Creekside family, get these babies in the ground, and yeah, I'll give you an update here in just a minute. All right, my friends, all of the plants have been added to the garden. I can just envision it right now. It is going to be stunning. Give it 3 years. Remember, the first year they sleep. Keep them alive, people. That's what I say. Just keep them alive. The second year they creep, and the third year they leap, and they will be glorious. Let me show you. So I'm all about sharing messes, successes, keeping it real with you, right? So while the plants are in and they look beautiful, they are gorgeous. They are going to just be so happy here. I have no doubt. It is, mid-late June, and we are adding shrubs and perennials to the garden. Pretty much a full sun garden. So there's going to be a little bit of a transition adjustment to this space. Example, this poor little hydrangea right here. She is like, oh my gosh, you took me out of my filtered sun and you put me in the shade. I am not happy. She will be fine. This is called heat wilt. So we are nice and warm and toasty, and so your hydrangeas especially are susceptible to this, even the ones that have been established in the ground for quite a while. As soon as the sun comes off of them, then they're going to bounce right back. So that's how you know it is heat wilt, because when they're in the sun, they get a little limp looking, right? So a little sad. You think, oh my gosh, they need water. If the sun comes off of them and they bounce right back and they're happy and they're perky, like for example, these guys down here, they're in that more filtered sun. See how nice and perky they are? They're good. Then it's not really a water issue. It is just simply a heat issue. And so we feel very comfortable having these in the ground for a couple of reasons. One thing, so last week was very, very hot here, and so we did not plant last week. These plants had been shipped to us. They needed a little bit of adjustment, so they stayed in that filtered sun. We kept them well watered. All was well. This week is going to be cooler. We had a really good rain yesterday, so the ground itself is nice and moist. Of course, the plants were nice and moist when we put them in. And then tonight, a cool front's coming through. Tomorrow's going to be completely cloudy. Like 79 degrees is going to be the high. And then we slowly work our way back to some warmer temperatures. These plants, that is what they need. And so we knew that and planted them accordingly. Also, we got all of the drip tube in. You can't see it because we've got some amazing people. So you can't see it, but there is drip around all of these plants. So we got everybody on that drip irrigation, buried it in, and so it's nice and tucked in, all snuggled in there. And then we've gone ahead and ran the irrigation anyway. So we ran it, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. So we will kind of keep an eye on everybody, making sure that they adjust just fine. Really, these first 2 to 3 weeks is when we really, really have to keep an eye on them to make sure that they're getting plenty of water. Once those roots start to go out and start growing and they're exploring and they're getting used to their new home, then they will be just fine. So those first 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month, especially in the summertime, that is when you just really, really have to keep a close eye on your plants. Even if they're on irrigation, even if it's all automated, you still need to come out and check them every day to make sure that something hasn't happened and that everybody is getting the water that they need. So if I come out tomorrow morning and this hydrangea still is limp like this right now, then that says it is a water issue. We need to put supplemental water on that hydrangea. So that is what we will do for the next couple of weeks, but I cannot wait to see this. Whenever I'm planting a space like this, I always think about mature size. So we're very aware of the spacing between those shrubs. The white weddings, they may look a little too far apart from each other, but they can get like 5 feet wide. So from center of plant to center of plant is roughly 5 feet. So in that 3 years, 4 years from now, when they are a mature size, they're going to be kissing each other and they are going to be huge and magnificent and glorious. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for that to happen, this is a perfect time to maybe come in if you wanted to add more perennials or if you wanted to add some annuals in here. You certainly can do that. We're gonna see how life goes, and we may come in here and add some Creekside Champions annuals in here to kind of fill in those little bit of holes between things and bring in that extra pop of color. We'll just see, time will tell. We'll see how we feel about doing that. But for right now, you don't have to have like every inch square filled. This is a massive start with gorgeous shrubs and perennials. So a huge thank you to our friends, alarm's going off, to our friends at Southern Living Plant Collection for sending us these gorgeous plants that are going to thrive here in our North Carolina Zone 8A garden. As always, we hope you found this fun, informative, and inspirational. We will see you in the next video, and hopefully we will see you on this Saturday, June the 20th at the nursery for the big Southern Living front yard garden tour event. It is going to be so much fun. See y'all in the next video. Bye guys.